What up? What up? What up? What's going on? Welcome to my 12th video. And this video will be called 2011-2012 Turning Point. This is after all the other videos, God's grace story, and this is still, leading you down to my journey to Christ. So in 2011, 2012, this is like when things kind of like turned me around, because I think what it was I said 2003 is when I first had my, relationship where I was reading the Bible and stuff like that. As for a relationship with God, when I was, reading the Bible and stuff like that. And, like always, you go and you drift off. And, I gave you all the God's grace story where I was doing my thing and God was just still in the midst helping me out. And this is, when you finally done with it, you finally like, man, let me, change up. And, it's similar. It ties hand in hand with that high school story because it was the same way. Before high school, I was doing things my way. And then I got to a point where, I had to just, I didn't know what to do. So this is another turning point for me in 2011, 2012. So, I originally named this 2012 turning point because it was a lot of stuff going on in 2012. But what I realized is that in 2011, there was a lot of stuff too that kind of like led into 2012. So it just wouldn't be right if I just didn't, bring both of them together. So before I get into it, I want to just, catch you up with where I'm at by 2011. So by now, or by 2011, I had 2 kids and a stepdaughter. I was dating someone back in the days. We broke up, still was intimate, then we stopped, and then this one time we got intimate, and then that led to us, going through what we going through to 2011, where I end up having 2 children, and then, like I said, I had a stepdaughter, and by this time I was out of the military. I had started doing music production. I was doing music, but I had went to school for music production, but I ended up, quitting or just putting it on hold because, I had kids to take care of. You know how it is. You got family and, you got to focus on this job and provide and stuff like that. And the schooling wasn't doing that. So in 2011, me and she was my baby, you might as well say my baby mom at the time, we wasn't even together. And she ended up getting pregnant again. And that kind of like, it did something, man, because it was like, man, like, what is going on? Like, I got 2 kids. Like, it wasn't even kids that, we wasn't trying to have. I know I wasn't trying to have any children because my life wasn't, I ain't had no stable job. Like, I wasn't even stable. So it was like, man, what, like, I don't know what's going on. We not together. I got 2 kids with her. And now she's pregnant. And I don't know, what to do, and I was just confused, man, to the point where I was like, man, bump it. I'm going to just, propose. You know how you feel like, oh, maybe if I get married, maybe things happening because I'm not married. I should go ahead and just marry her, and then that just make everything all right. You know what I mean? I'm gonna marry her. That's what I'm gonna do. So I end up proposing, and I had the job. I had just got promoted to a manager around that time. This all in 2011. But it was a job. It wasn't something that I was passionate about. I was just doing it just to pay the bill. So I was like, man, I done got promoted to manager, but I'm still not. It's straight. I'm happy because I'm moving. I feel some type of movement, but I still just I couldn't understand what was going on. So I was just at a place. It's no different than like when I was in high school. It was like I was at a place where I was just like humble. Life was just humbling me because it was like, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. And, like I said, the best way to fix it is I'm going to propose to her. We're going to get married. Because at the time I was staying in my house and she was staying in the apartment. I was like, maybe I'll get married. They'll move back in the house with me. And then things are just, things will get better, man. I'm going to start focusing on God, all that stuff, man. I was somewhat thinking about that, but it was like, it was slowly getting there, But like the step that I made was I'm going to just propose to her. And it wasn't even authentic. It was just, I just wanted to fix things, So, like I said, I proposed to her in the end of 2011. And boom, 2012 hit. First thing happened. Early January, my barber, you might as well say he like my friend, Charlie Ortiz, he was murdered. And it wasn't no like murder where, somebody, get killed and then you be like, dang, that's messed up. Nah, this man got killed on my way coming to the barbershop, and not only just coming to the barbershop, but I actually seen him on the ground. It was like I was minutes before it happened. So it kind of like hit me, but I just go, into the story. So it was just a regular old day. I was at work, getting off work. I knew I had to pick up my stepdaughter from daycare. And, I picked her up. I called Charlie. I was like, hey, Charlie, I'm about to come over there and get me a cut or whatever. He was like, come on, man, I'm outside over here. Come on over. All cool, nice. Charlie was cool. And what's so deep about it is I was driving. I was like right there about to pull up to, his shop. But something was like, stop by Burger King, get something at Burger King. Like, it was so, like, quick. Not to say it was quick, but it was like, when I heard it, like, I wasn't, like, moving to do it. It was just like, go ahead, stop by Burger King to get my stepdaughter something to eat. Because, last time I had took her, she was just sitting around. She was real young. Like I said, I picked her up from the daycare. She was real young, and she ain't had nothing to do. I know she, I get her something to eat. She can play with the toys or whatever. So I was like, yeah. But I still wasn't, like, moving. But something just was on my heart, like, go to Burger King. And I turned. Like, I remember turning real quick. And I just turned, went to Burger King, and as soon as we got our food, I seen a police cop drive by. And something in my heart was just like, what's up with that, They looked like they were going towards the barbershop. Like, and it was crazy. Like, I was thinking like, they probably going to the barbershop. Like, I remember all this stuff. And, I got my food, drove off, turned, made the left, went over there, and I see the two. I said, dang, the cops was going over here. So I see the cops. They standing right there, and somebody sitting on the ground. So I pulled up and parked And the way they were just standing there, I didn't think it was too serious, because I seen the guy laying on the ground, and I just thought, well, maybe, somebody got to fight out here and they knocked him out or something like that, But, in my heart, I was like, man, ain't no way, this can be Charlie. But the one thing I do know was, if this happened in front of Charlie's shop, like, he'll be out here. Like, Charlie was active. Like, he would have been out there trying to figure out what's going on. And he wasn't out there. And someone was like, is that Charlie? Like, I was like, there's no way. Like, I went into denial. Like, I ain't even want to look at the body no more. That's how bad it was. I ain't want to look at the body no more. I was like, man, I'm just going to go to the shop, because I ain't about to, like, this ain't Charlie on the ground. So I went into the barbershop, and his assistant just came frantic. Chris, where Charlie at? Where Charlie at? I said, I don't know. He was like, is that Charlie on the ground? I was like, I don't know, and he was just running around, just scared. Like, he was like, oh, I need to call, oh man, that's when I really started getting nervous. Like, is that Charlie? Like I said, I didn't see no blood or nothing. I just seen somebody laying on the ground. So I remember, walking over and looking, and I was like, that is Charlie. Like, he was flipped over. I still can't see him, but I was like, man, that probably is Charlie. And like, I was just like stunned. Like, I was like, man, there's no way. It's like something about this situation just didn't seem right. Like, my heart was just like, I couldn't, like I said, I was in denial, like, of everything that was happening. So that's when I guess, I started hearing the, ambulance and stuff coming, and other cops, like, cops pulled up, they started running out into the field and stuff. And, that's when I guess all the action started coming, to where, they was about to start taping stuff off and stuff. So, I had moved away, and I had just went on ahead. Like, my neighborhood ain't too far. My old neighborhood ain't too far. So I told my homeboy, I was like, hey, man, I think, something going on with Charlie. And he was like, he like, man, I think somebody shot him. He was like, for real? He was with his girlfriend. But his reaction was like, he ain't really take it serious. And I was like, man, like, nah, this something serious, man. Like, I was just stunned. And I ended up going back over there. And when I went over there, I seen the coroner, and that's when I already knew, like, Charlie was dead. Everybody was standing out there, and, I walked up, and somebody was like, man, he dead. And the reason why, it hurt me so bad, because I had a lot of respect for Charlie. Charlie was a person who, as a man, he was like a person that I seen that actually did something. Like, he wasn't talking. Like, he used to talk now. And a lot of guys that I know used to talk that talk. But Charlie was the one where I heard him talk and he put it to action. That right there is important to see. Like, I had a lot of respect for the fact that, one, he was nice. He did great with cutting. Like, everybody used to, like, ask me, who cut your hair? You know what I mean? Like, man, Charlie was cutting my hair for a while, man. Folks give me compliments. Charlie was nice. Same energy all the time. Me and him used to talk while he was cutting my hair. He was just, man, like, just nothing but love. And I just couldn't believe that, somebody had killed him. And it just, like I said, it hurt me. And especially hurt me because I started going through that, man. Maybe, if I went to Burger King, I probably wouldn't been able to pull up and, save him, And I went through that. And, God had to, like, humble me with that. He was like, maybe I stopped you from going there because you probably would have tried to do something and end up getting your stepdaughter killed or shot. And that's something that I probably wouldn't been able to stomach. Like, I can, it's hard to deal with, something happening to my child, but, somebody else's child being in my hand, like, and something happened to him, like, that right there, man, like, that would have definitely, like, did something to me. So, maybe God was stopping me, you know what I mean? Because I know if I never stopped at Burger King, I would have pulled up on time. And, after all that stuff happening, and come to find out, them guys, man, they was just on a dang robbing spree and stuff like that. So they probably wouldn't even cared about me being there. And like I said, they could have ended up shooting, my stepdaughter. So, that right there, if anybody ever went through a situation like that, man, like that, stuff like that, it changes you. You know what I mean? Like, it does something to you when somebody close to you not just get killed, but you happen to see all that stuff and have to deal with that. Like, Charlie was the only person I really had to deal with that, where somebody I had mad respect for got killed. Can't, you know what I mean? Just good guy. Like, how, it's different when you out here in the streets and you doing stuff and you get killed and you be like, well, it would have eventually happened. But when a good person get killed, it does something to you. And I want to stop it right there because it was something I wanted to say that I didn't say in the beginning. Today is July 2024, and a few days ago, there was a woman by the name of Sonya Massey was killed unarmed by a policeman. She posed no threat, and he just killed her. On camera, everybody seen it. It's all over the news, and it's a hard situation, to watch, because just like I was saying with Charlie, man, that woman, she ain't posed no threat. She was nice throughout the video, said, I love you, God bless you. I think she said, God bless you. I know she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus or something. But the reason why I brought that up is because even though I was going to make this video, I wasn't going to make this video right now. But in situations like this, it like I say, it made me think about this video that I was gonna make, and it just made me feel like I need to go ahead and share it, because watching an innocent person be killed publicly does something to people. All right, it does something to people, man. It changes people, and Sonya Massey, like I said, to the family, sending prayers up. I hope that God be able to relieve your heart of the stress and the anger and the frustration and the sadness that it brings to you, and to those that watch the video, because a lot of people seen it the same, because it affects everybody. And, like I said, this video is, part of that, like I said, in 2012, that happened to me with Charlie. And, like I said, I love Charlie. Charlie was a great person, man. Rest in peace, Charlie. But I'm going to go ahead and move on from that. So that happened. That kind of like brought me down, and I got a whole nother story about that. I'll probably share again on another video. But that happened. February was my birthday. My mom them threw me a surprise birthday party which, I enjoy. It was really a surprise birthday party because I really didn't expect it. But, even then, what I realized is that, I had got to a point where I was just working. I worked so much, I didn't know what fun was. I was just, working because I had kids and I had to take care of my kids. So I just had a lot of stuff going on. People don't understand. You be having a whole bunch of stuff going on. You don't know what's going on. Like you be like, man, like I'm just trying to figure things out. So, I was working and working and working, and I just, let my life go. And that's that right there kind of like opened my eyes, because I ain't know how to, when I was at the party, I ain't know how to like deal with it. Like I ain't know, I wasn't like relaxed. Like all I wanted was sleep. Like I had went back to the room and went to sleep, and somebody like, man, what you doing? And it was like, man, I just want some sleep, you know what I mean? And my friends had ended up going out, so I went out with them. And then the next day, I went to work. I had to work because I had to work almost every day. It was just crazy, but I had to go to work. Went to work late, and I was just like, free, happy, you know what I mean? But I had this new manager that, you can tell, man, it was just something about him. Just like I told you about in my high school video where I had the discipline principal, assistant principal, Lindsay, like he was all on me. Like it was the same way with this manager, man. Like you can tell just something going on with him. Like he did not like talk to me like that. For him to be a new manager coming in, and I had like the biggest department, like it was just something going on where he wasn't communicating. I can tell he didn't care for me. Like he was gonna try to get me up out of there, and that's exactly what he did. He was doing stuff behind my back with the people that I was managing. And every time I come in, I was like, what happened? They be like, man, you need to talk to him. He doing it, blah, blah. Just always. So I finally just confronted him, But hold on, I'm skipping past. So that day, I can tell, like when I came in late, like he was just, the way he was acting, it just was crazy to me. Like, because the way I was looking at it, I don't never be late. That's the reason why I'm a manager. Like, I'm always, trying to make sure things straight. And, I just needed that grace for this one day. Like, I think I was late for another day around Black Friday. But, you know what I mean? It was like, man, I'm late this one day, man. It's my birthday. Like, man, at least, he can, have some type of, like, chill. But it wasn't that. And I was like, man, like, it's something just going on. So, like I said, he kept doing little stuff behind my back to the point where, like I said, I confronted him. I got tired of everybody coming to me telling me what he was doing and this and that, and I confronted him. And what's crazy was when I confronted him, it was like he was just waiting for this moment. He was like, well, I got this, and you fired. And I was like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it, like, where all this came from. And he ended up firing me. Like, he was showing where, because we couldn't work 40 hours. And we used, in the department where I was working in, like, it had to do with customer service, sales, and stuff like that. So sometimes you stay over. And by the time you hit that weekend, the manager that handles the hours will tell you to come in late, come in an hour late, because you gonna go over 40, so you can't get no overtime. So he used all those times that I had to come in late because of that to just bam me. You know what I mean? It wasn't, and had nothing. I had just maxed out in my sales. million dollar sales that year. I got a bonus and everything. And, it had nothing to do with that. It was all personal. I don't know where. I guess because he came in and they got rid of a lot of the other managers. And he didn't like him. And he felt like I was a part of that crew. And he wanted to get me out of there. So that's what ended up happening. He fired me. I mean, now when I went, I talked to the folks with BitLots, and they, paid me, for all that. Not for firing me, but for the wrongful, for wrongfully firing me. And, to me, I didn't want to go back, I felt like everything happened for a reason. And that was just part of it, So I ended up getting fired. And I remember I was telling you that I had just proposed to my baby mom's, and she moved back in with me. And now this happened, got fired. All right. So I was the person that was providing. So because of that, that brought way more tension into the house, to the point where we end up getting into a physical argument. First time ever. I don't believe in putting hands on women, but it got that bad, you know what I mean? Cops was called, everything. Like, it got real bad. Like, it got to the point where I was like, man, am I supposed to get married to this person? Like, what's going on, man? Like, I thought that everything was going to be good, just like I was talking about with the high school thing. I was like, man, like, what's going on? Like, I don't propose. Like, I'm thinking that, everything going to be straight. But that wasn't the case. So, also, and I forgot to bring this up, too. So, right after my birthday, which was February 25th, the February 26th, that's when Trayvon Martin had got killed. And that became a big thing. So it was like so much stuff going on with the killing of Charlie, then the stuff at my job, then the country dealing with this Trayvon Martin thing. Then it was the election. You had, Obama running for president again, and all the tension that comes with this presidential election stuff, man, to the point where you find yourself arguing with people, you know what I mean? Like, so I was in the military. Military is similar to police, where you're working for the government. You're dealing with hostility, and whenever I see situations like with Sonya Massey, Trayvon Martin, and all these other ones, some of the other ones, like these cops that you see, like you see them all the time. If you've been in that field, or if you just, getting pulled over. I brought it up on another video. If you check out that one of those Pistol Pete videos where I got pulled over. Like, you deal with these people who just got this spirit on them that either want to just do something, like just highly opinionated, highly just want to do crazy stuff. And a lot of times we blame it on racism, which racism, that spirit, it falls in that racism, but it don't always have to do with racism. A lot of it's just bad spirits, evil spirits that be on people that just want to, do harm, Like, you deal with that, I had somebody that, I was going back and forth with that, I know he's not racist, but he done said questionable things. Like, I done heard him talking about killing somebody. He was a cop, and they killed somebody stealing in the store. You know what I mean? And he, the way he talking about it is like, man, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, you really think that it's okay? And you know, a lot of people might be like, well, why why you don't speak up? Why you don't, you know, as far as like speaking up to the, you know, higher ups. But what people fail to realize is this don't stop right here. Like, it goes to the higher up and higher up and higher up. Like the Bible talked about, you know, spiritual wickedness in high places, man. Like, you can complain about this person, but there's somebody covering that person and somebody covering that person. And you really don't see it until like stuff like the Trayvon Martin, the Sonya Massey and stuff like that. You don't see it publicly until stuff like that happen. But this stuff goes on every single day. You know what I mean? Every day. You know, this is biblical stuff. This is spiritual warfare. Like, this ain't something that you think that, oh, if I tell on this person, like this person that's about to get arrested for Sonya Massey, that don't end it. It doesn't end it right there. There's still wicked people out there that's gonna be behind a badge, be in some type of authority place where they can do wicked things, and that's just part of it. You know what I mean? I do my part by trying to speak some realness to these people. That's why I said in 2012 I was going at it with this guy. You know what I mean? Because I felt like, you know, like I said, I knew he wasn't racist, even though people try to make it put two and two together. But I know he wasn't a racist. He just was what some people would call a a-hole. You know what I mean? Like, he like stubborn, like I said, highly opinionated, and like I said, all that stuff is just all part of 2012. Like, what happens in situations like that is it calls a change in people, like, over the whole country, because it's causing you to choose. You know, you choosing sides. It's just like with the presidential election. You hearing one side, you hearing another side, and everybody is choosing what side they want. And because of that, it makes people, like, you know, fight, argue, and separate, you know, and that caused a change. And like I said, that was going on around 2012 when I was going through what I was going through. And like I said, man, like, stuff like that, you know, it plays a part on your spiritual journey, you know, because you picking, if you see wrong, you be like, I don't want it. Because sometimes you can be with people who does things, and you're just with them, and you decide, you know, nah, I'm not with that. You know, you going too far to the right, and I'm about to go to the left. All right. So, you know, that's that turning point, you know, where people split. You know, you see it with churches split, and, you know, all type of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, this is just a spiritual thing. But just to go on to talk about more, just, you know, I had, like I said, I started trying to, you know, I wanted to do better. With just, you know, getting closer to God. I was trying to right my wrongs, trying to, you know, just do all the right things. No different, like I said, when it came to, like, when I was in high school, you know, I started, you know, trying to, you know, do my work and stuff like that. So, like, the best way to say it is I was lukewarm that whole time. Like, I believed in God, you know, I tried to do right, I was getting better, but I still wasn't, like, it wasn't no fire in me, you know. And I would say, like, that's the reason why I said 2012 turning point, is because that fire had went in me to where I was like, man, I'm about to start reading this Bible, I'm about to do right, you know what I mean, I'm about to start being honest. Like, what I had learned was I wasn't real honest, you know. I wasn't real honest in my relationships. Like, not to say that I was like cheating and stuff like that, but I just wasn't being my authentic me. You know, like I said, with being in a relationship, you kind of like suppress yourself to try to make things work. And that's not good. You know, sometimes, you know, is understanding, but when you suppress yourself too much, like I said, you start to lose yourself. And like I said, I wasn't like all the way 100. And I started doing stuff like this one time, man. I don't really talk about this much, and I probably won't talk about it in this video, but it was a spiritual attack where, you know, I was talking to now she's my fiance, and I was telling her stuff, and like some stuff happened as I was telling her, like some supernatural stuff that was going on that I can't explain. Well, I can't explain to you, but probably not going to explain to you in this video. But I started seeing like stuff happening where, you know, that oh man, I forgot. I should have wrote this down. But you know, when sleep paralysis, I think, where people was talking about they have, like, I was having those a whole lot. Like, where I wake up, I can't move. Like, I don't know when the last time I had that, but around that time when I was going through that, trying to do right, that sleep paralysis was crazy. And, you know, when it came to that other situation, I never had that before. Like I said, I'll talk about it in another video, but it was stuff going on in that house that I was like, I was scared, to be honest. Like, I was scared to speak. It was like some scary movie stuff, because every time I try to speak, it was like, it's just hard to explain right now. I don't want to, because I don't want to go too deep into it, but we'll talk about it on another time. But I guess I'll go ahead and, what is it, 37 minutes. This is one of my longest videos. I want to talk about, I had seen something. So like I said, this 2012, like, also what was going on too was the Mayan prediction that everybody was talking about, where it's supposed to be the end of the world thing. You know, that was going on. And I've never been into that stuff like that. The 2000s, the Y2K stuff. Like, I believe that stuff, but I don't believe it. And then, like I said, 2012 Mayan thing, like, it make you think, but I ain't really like get deep into it. I watch videos, like, it had movies and stuff. I used to watch that, like, because I just like, you know, action stuff like that. But, you know, during times like that, it has people, you know what I mean, spiritually, you know, awakening. Because that's why I feel like it'd be like a spiritual awakening that's going on that we don't realize it. Like, I didn't know nothing about spiritual awakening and stuff like that, but I feel like 2012 was a spiritual awakening. And like, there's other times where stuff like that happen, and I see it, you know what I mean, constantly. You know, like somebody brought up, you know, in those elections, there's always like George Floyd and, you know, the Trayvon Martin and, you know, different people. Because, like I said, what you don't realize is that people wake up from stuff like that. People wake up when they see an innocent person get killed. You know, you gotta let stuff like that marinate. Because if you don't really, like, hear me on that, If you ain't knowledgeable about the Bible, about how, an innocent person was killed on the cross, which caused this stuff is real. When an innocent person is killed, it changes things. It's in the public eye. You know what I mean? In the public eye, when people see this stuff, it changes people. Man. It changes people, man. It made me think about that man, in the Bible, that officer, because I truly believe that when they was doing the things that they was doing to Jesus, when they was beating him and stuff like that, when people was putting him on the cross, people really did start to think that something was wrong with Christ or he was guilty. And, a lot of times they think, when they hang on the cross and they punish and they torture, they'll eventually break. The truth gonna eventually come out. They eventually gonna start cussing you out, or their true character gonna come out. But he never changed. He was all I truly believe that when they realized that, man, this guy was innocent, and it did something to people. In 2012, 2016, 2020, and now 2024. That's the reason why I was motivated to make this video right now. I believe that stuff like that happens for a reason. Spiritual awakening, it makes you it really makes you think man, something's not right, and I need to go searching. I need justice. I need, all this stuff. Even with me going through my spiritual attack, when that was happening to me, I don't know about y'all, but it let me know oh, hold up, there is something that's trying to stop me. You know what I mean? It's something it's something that's trying to stop me from doing, and the rebelliousness in you it pushes you. That kind of help you sometimes. Sometimes they think that they can stop you, if they do something that'll stop you, but sometimes that stuff pushes people because they didn't even know. You don't be knowing that you really understand. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? I be hearing that stuff, but for me to it's just I don't know if you ever heard the saying, you don't know if you're addicted until you try to stop. Until you try to stop. When you actually try to stop and you see it's hard as I don't know what, it's something really going on, that make you wake up. And just like I said, when I was going through that stuff, now that I'm trying to do right, I'm looking man, what, hold up, something's trying to stop me. There is something out here. There is something going on, and I need to wake up, and I need to get out of autopilot, and I need to start purpose living. That's how I call it, purpose living. When you actually moving, you going, you about to, be on fire. I'm not no more lukewarm. I'm not just going with the flow with everybody, wherever everybody else go, I go. Nah, I'm about to take off. And yeah, man. So I had seen that 2012 Mayan prediction. It was this guy named Sri Ram Kai. I'll be messing up names. Sri Ram Kai, where he said that he got a book, and I put the book up there. And it says in the book, humanity stands at the brink of a crossroad. which path will you choose? Awake from your dream to take charge of your destiny. Choosing spiritual enlightenment over Armageddon. So the way I look at it is, a lot of times we think that the world gonna end. We think that, we see these movies and stuff and we think that doomsday are, which, it could happen. But from a spiritual perspective, your world can be ending. Your world, what you thought, can be ending. It's just like when I got fired, my world ended. If that was my world, that would be my world ending. So it's like, yeah, the world is about to end. Your world about to end. And you about to go on a path of righteousness, hopefully, seeking the truth. It's two things, righteousness and truth. All right. So it's like you're searching for truth. Like I said, all this innocent people getting killed. It's like like I said, people start to wake up, trying to seek the truth because they realizing something ain't right. All right. You start seeking that truth, and God start changing you, and you start learning, and that was my turning point. 2012, I'll never forget. That was like a turning point. Like I said, 2011, 2012, they come together, but it was like that was a turning point for me where I started like pushing. I started being on fire, and I started trying to like really like seek this God that everybody was talking about, and whoever watching this video, man, God led you to this video. Maybe you're on that same path, man. Maybe you've been started a path, and you just need that revelation that's what it was, or that it is, because that's how it was with me. I didn't know what I was going through then, and then all of a sudden it started to come to me. God started. This is what happened. Like 2012, that's what was going on. Like God brought that stuff to my remembrance, and it might be somebody that's watching this video who, like I said, they might going through it right now or in the past or whatever. Like spiritual awakening, that's God, God is leading you into righteousness, leading you to betterness, leading you to the truth. And that's what happened with me, man. So I'm at like 48 minutes. Like I said, it's my longest video because it's deep. It's a lot of stuff that I can't even, like I said, it's a lot I can talk about, man, but I'm going to just leave it, for other stuff, like even just within the relationship, that part. Like I'm going to make a whole nother series about my relationship. Like I said, God done, like y'all don't understand, like, man, I got a whole list, like stuff that all throughout the years, and really ain't really come to me like till 3 years ago where God just made me put it all down and like I'm gonna make these videos. Like I said, this was the next video up after that Grace, the recap. Well, I didn't have recap in there, but after that, what is the God's Grace Taken video, I was supposed to be doing this video right here. And I didn't plan on doing it right now. I did not plan on doing it right now. I was going to do that video about that Just Mercy, that 60 minutes video. That was the plan. But when that Sonya Massey thing happened, God was like, man, make this video because this ties into that. This is why it's so important for you to talk about this stuff, Like God the timing with God, man, is amazing. When you start on your journey, man, or if you're already on a journey, you know, man, like, that be God. When that timing is right, that be God, man. Cause I ain't do none of this junk. I just wrote all this stuff down, man, and it's just lining on up. Even with that Just Mercy, you know, and it's not no coincidence that after I finished all those God Grace videos that, you know, that Just Mercy had popped up, which I seen back in 2020. And like I said, man, like, it's a beautiful thing, man, to be on this journey. But I'm going to go ahead and end it, man. I ain't going to be long with it. Like I said, 2011, 2012, this is my turning point. Everybody have a turning point in their life. Like I said, it was you can have multiple turning points. The high school was another turning point. And this was another one. And I guess you could say the military when I was in boot camp. That might, I don't know. But this for sure is a turning point. And that's it, man. As always, I love you. And I pray that things go great in your life. I pray that this blesses you. I pray that you bless someone else, man. You know, if this story hit you, man, and you got something to share, man, I pray that you be able to share it and help other people, man. And, man, you can leave a comment. You can reach out. You know, I'm a people's person, man. I'm gonna be nice. I don't bite, you know. So, like I said, it's always love, man. And, you know, check out the other videos. I'll be making more. All right. Love you.